Are you ready to be a professional genealogist? How do you really know? It's something that I get asked a lot about. I get many, many emails from people wanting to know what is the best route to doing what I do for a living. I am a full-time professional genealogist and have been for many, many years. Um, I'm going to walk you through some of the options that exist out there and how to really figure out if you are ready. So, welcome to episode 2 of the Formidable Genealogist Studio. I typically do reels. I use like short genealogy tip videos, and now I'm doing some deeper dive stuff because I got a lot of information I want to get out there. So, follow along because I'm not really sure where I'm going with it yet. So, this episode is about the paths that you can take to do this for a living. Now, I want to start by explaining some of the confusion that exists surrounding becoming a certified genealogist. So, I have heard many people say that I want to do this for a living, but I don't understand how to become certified. Or they will say, I got my certificate from a community ed class, so I am certified. No, you're not. It's an entirely different thing. And I am going to show you the website that'll kind of explain it here. So, getting a certificate is not the same thing as being certified. There's only one way that you can become a certified genealogist, and that is by passing a portfolio or getting that's the word I'm looking for, just becoming approved by the board for certification of genealogists. Then you are able to put the letters CG after your name, showing that you are a certified genealogist. This is not something that is required to work in the field. The other option for credentials, predominantly in the US here, is ICAP Gen, the International Commission for the Accreditation of Professional Genealogists. And that's where you will see a genealogist that has the letters AG after their name. These credentials are not required to work in this field, and I want you to think of them as higher education. Think of that as a master's or a doctorate in somebody's field. I do not have either of those credentials, and that's probably not something I'm intending to do at this time because you have to stop working and taking clients and, build build these portfolios. It's a huge process, and I admire the people that do it, but it's not something that I can do by just putting my business on hold. So think of those as those higher learning degrees and not just something that is required of everybody. So I also want to talk about the Association of Professional Genealogists. This is an excellent resource and the trade organization for people that work in the field of genealogy. You can have your profile out here for clients to find you, and then you can look out here and see somebody you might want to hire, or just take a look at other people that work in your niche. Let's say I am looking for somebody that is based in Italy because it's worldwide. I want to find somebody that is based in Italy. So I can put Italy in here and then I can do a search and I can see various people that are located there. Not only the member directory. That's not the only benefit to joining this organization. It's a good way to learn different skills that you need to work in this field. There are different groups that you can join. There's a lot of networking opportunities. There are examples of like client contracts. webinars on certain aspects of running a genealogy business. It is an excellent way to join, even as a prospective genealogist. Let's say you're considering working in the field. It would be smart to join this group prior to starting your own business, and you are not required to be a certified genealogist or accredited genealogist or working in the field. You can be working toward it. But I want to show you one thing that's new on the website. Become a professional. There is a professional readiness tool right on here that you can take to see where you might be at, to kind of self-assess how close you are to being ready to do this for a living. So I recommend you go check that out, appgen.org. I'm going to stop sharing the screen here. I want to talk about a couple other things that you would want to keep in mind if you are intending to do this for a living. I want you to think about if you are comfortable running your own business, or if you would be looking to be a corporate genealogist, maybe work Ancestry ProGen or like legacy tree genealogists. There are a lot of different options out there. Determine what would be the right thing for you, and then start looking at those job postings to see what the standard pay rate would be and also the qualifications, because it's very competitive and there are a lot of requirements out there. For starting your own business, keep in mind it's a lot of work. And it could be about 5 years of solid work before it is like financially viable and lucrative for you. That it takes a lot of trial and error to figure out what's going to stick. For me personally, I just tried a bunch of different ideas and kind of just threw them at the wall, saw what sticked, and then just continued to pivot. I also recommend that you take a look, especially in the APG profile or the member directory rather, and see some of your specific skills. What do you bring to the table that maybe isn't very well represented out there? Maybe you are excellent at Jewish research, or you are fluent in Serbian, something that's not really represented out there in the member directory, because you might be able to find a niche that way. Look around and see what other people are doing and see if there's something different that you can bring to the table to set yourself apart. That's one thing I did when I got started too. I saw that there wasn't a lot of short form genealogy content. It was mostly the longer YouTube videos. And then I started doing the short reels, and that's kind of what took off for me. If you are going to run your own business, I recommend you seek out any small business help centers in your town to get an idea of how to get started, everything you need to do to get like an FEIN, federal identification number for your business. If you need to create an LLC, what you will be doing for bookkeeping, what type of programs are out there that you will need, website hosting services, social media channels. There's really a lot to consider. Advertising, marketing, figure out what you want to do. And again, APG is a great way to do that. My best advice is just start. I see so many people that say they don't feel like they maybe have the experience to do this. Just give it a try. Start. The hardest part is just getting started, and everything doesn't have to be perfect at first. You'll figure it out as you go, especially after you look through the professional readiness tool and determine that you are ready. Because don't go out there offering services that you are not competent about or skills you don't have, obviously. But you will figure it out as you go, and you will continue to adapt. I had the impression before I got started that once that website was live, all the clients were going to be rushing in, and I needed to have everything exactly perfect before I got started with that. But No, it's going to take a long time to establish yourself. And so start the sooner the better. And email me if you have any questions about it. I'm very, very open about what has worked for me and what has not. And I don't view others as competitors, but rather as colleagues. And good luck. I hope you succeed.